All right, mic check, mic check, mic check. Should be able to see the screen. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. You see, is the chat working today? Oh yeah, great one. That's a good message. First one through. Great one, Strive, my man. Let's get it. Good morning, good morning. All right, cool. Looks like the chat's working today. Don't know why it was not working on Tuesday. But here we are. Today's date. Check, check. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg, right? Finally, Joe Frank as well. Members, I know he was heavily into Intel as well. So some big news this morning, NVIDIA plus Intel holding hands now. So Intel, they're trying to get Intel back up about what, like 29-30% right now, something like that, give or take, last time I checked. All right, well, now today's date is, of course, the post-Fed, September 18th, 2025. I'm your guy, the host, Mr. Blue. I'll go through kind of a pre-market prep here on YouTube. See some folks in here that might not be Phantoms members. Welcome. I see some folks that are amazing Phantoms members. We got Talk to Me Goose Charles in here. We got great one. Daniel King, great one. Mark Wahlberg. Let's get it. Mike Jameson. Let's go. Money Mike. Cool. So I'll spend about an hour, do some pre-market prep, see what we have off the open here today. Let me start off real quick. Yesterday, of course, we all know, I'm hoping you all should know, we had Fed Day. So hopefully everybody navigated that decently or successfully. Set up a couple things for the Phantoms members yesterday. Hopefully y'all caught some movement. We actually had that nice level off that positive gamma node. The team was working on this all day. Got choppy post-Fed, but we nailed as a team at Phantoms this 60, what was it, the 59.90. I was coming in short here. Then we had a 65.90 positive gamma node, and that provided a beautiful trade and a pop right before Fed there. So hopefully people took it. Hopefully Phantom number took advantage of that. We had like a pending long right here coming in for short, taking profit. So we had a plan pre-Fed just really quickly. Even though I had crappy internet yesterday, 65.90 for a nice little pop. And then we got Fed WAP right there on the announcement. We pull another Federal Reserve WAP at 2:30. And it was kind of choppy, but there was some, there was some movement. So hopefully I navigated that decently. Don't want to get too much in the weeds on that. Of course, they didn't cut rate. I'm sure they did cut rates actually on YouTube on Tuesday. I made a mistake on that. I read that wrong too quickly. So of course we were going into it with the high expectation that they were going to cut 25 basis points, which they did. All right. So that was yesterday, of course. We all know that. And then coming into today, of course, there's really nothing much. We did just have unemployment claims about 20 minutes ago in Philly manufacturing there, right? That comes out every Thursday. So, okay, great. And then we have, nothing for the rest of the week, I should say, in the U.S. That is for going forward. In terms of plant economic news, of course, we always have things in the backdrop as well, et cetera, geopolitical, and et cetera. So bring this document up real quick here. Good job, Lone Ranger. Long sim NVIDIA. Good job, Cisco. Y'all talking like professional traders, Phantoms members, short book, long book. Greatness caught some Tessie. Of course, you have to. You have to, right? Tesla. Phantoms are growing insanely their skill sets. All right, you will. So it all started here, right? So you will see. So I bring this document up every single time that you see Mr. Blue here, right? So institutional order flow, demand, and supply is going to be the main backdrop of Phantom's strategy, of course, right? Demand, supply. All right, understanding that. Top-down multiple time frame analysis. So you will see a lot of orange, yellows, and blues on my charts over here. Anything that you see in orange is the monthly time frame association. Yellow is going to be weekly. Daily is going to be blue. Color code here. So there's a quick little checklist to kind of to analyze to go through your trade plan. Bullish candlesticks, a bunch of fancy names, right? You don't need to memorize them, but the location and the context of these bullish candlesticks are going to be most important. Where is it located? In what context? In demand, in the context of an uptrend. That's where we want to look for those candlesticks formations. Bearish candlesticks, again, fancy names, context and location, okay, are going to be more important. Scrolling down here, we got the liquidity map. Once you understand this, you got it. As Phantoms members are continuing to grow and grow and grow with this. Okay, this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. We put this all together in some of the classes that we have at Phantoms. Okay, and of course we apply that in the live trade room as we do. We trade live, right? Or trade live, right, for the folks right there, front and center with the folks with the team, right? So we go through this in more time. This is super important here, and if you understand the multiple time frame analysis from the top down to the small, from the high time frames to the small time frames, you can unlock the powers to be of trading and investing, knowing when to buy, knowing when to sell, who's entering, who's exiting. Futures. Start off there. I gotta switch these out. All right, I got that. Oh, I got it already right. Working off 2 screens, it's so annoying. I usually have like 6. Still displaced from my home. Looks like I'll be back in on Friday. So next week should be more quote unquote normalized, whatever normal means. I got the S&P daily time frame upper left. Yeah, Mike Jameson crushed Tesla. Tesla squeeze was crazy. So for the past couple of weeks, I've been really focused. I actually ran a report not too long ago, and a lot of the gains have been coming from, at least personally, my day trading account, Tesla and SPX. So I know what you mean. Yeah. So we were on top of that, Mike Jameson. Hopefully you're well, brother. Hopefully you're well, brother. I think about you, man. Hopefully you're well, to you and yours. So I got the S&P daily time frame upper left, NASDAQ upper right, Dow Jones lower left, Russell 2000 bottom right. Dow Jones and Russell snooze fest. Come on, wake up, man. Right. We get the NASDAQ and the S&P partying all-time highs, doing good things, right? So here's the S&P futures on a daily time frame. I know there's a ton of lines here. I can't wait. I cannot wait until the next week or two where I get back home and get all situated to run that long book, short book on prop. So I'm so excited for that, to do that with you Phantoms members. All right, I'm not gonna be able to do that for free on YouTube, etc. But that's only for Phantoms actual members. So click that link, man. Register if you're thinking about it. Go, jump in, man. Jump in. If these folks at Phantoms are becoming professional traders at a fast rate. The speed of growth is insane. I digress. So I got a daily time frame here, okay, of the S&P. We had this gap up, of course. A lot of that was due to the rollover, etc. We were talking a lot about be careful with this. They have an unfilled gap here. There's probably going to be some liquidity sweeping down over here. You'll see that in a moment when I drop down to the small time frames. But even though we had a little bit of a drop yesterday on post Fed, of course, now we rallied back up and we popped a new high, all-time high in the S&P 500, so 67.19. We'll map out our Globex high, Globex low, and we'll set up what's called our Globex traps. Now, I do want to emphasize as well that this yesterday, of course, definitely want to put a pin on that daily low, and I will make this, of course, yesterday's low. Love you too, Jay. Mike. This is yesterday's low. All right, definitely want to pin that. I'll get down to that in a moment. Now, this is not the new all-time. This is not the all-time high anymore, right? Duh, of course, because we just have a new one right here. We had a new one already. This is a new one here. But I just want to keep this line here as a reference because, as you can see, we already kind of dropped down and we kind of used this as a retest. That was once the all-time high before the rollover on S&P's futures, that is. And we kind of already retested it on the other side. So we didn't quite fill that gap because that's where they closed, right, on September 12th. As you can see the date on the bottom there. Then we opened here, of course, September 15th. You can see the date on the bottom there, right? So over the weekend, right? So we gapped up. So we still haven't really filled that gap, right? So we still want to put a reference point on that said gap, that closing price, give or take 65.85. All right, but yesterday we kind of dropped down. We retested the previous all-time high right there. And I was mentioning to the team yesterday, watch out, there's a gap fill here. At some point, it's probably going to trap this here and then slam up. So this is when we were looking at that positive gamma nodes, etc. down here. But then Fed came out, we swiped a little bit more lower with the volatility. Okay, so again, just want to reference this. So this is going to be another, we already retested this. So this is a retest, and it already tested yesterday. All right, my Phantoms members will know how to navigate that. It's just tested 1 or 2 times. It's it's not as strong anymore. So we already had that. And that's yesterday's low as well. All right, so I want to reference that gap fill. I'm going to put a note there, right? Might as well, since I'm here. Close there. So this is the unfilled gap in the S&P futures. So I just want to reference that. The close is 65.8850. Definitely want to reference these gaps here. All right. It'll be a little bit more better and organized as we can drop down to small time frames in a moment. We've got that 20 paired moving average hovering here. Okay, so we got a 65, 61. It's an impulse basing impulse level of demand right in there, and that also is going to confluence with the 20 EMA on the daily. So, just want to make a note there. Confluence. All right. NASDAQ. Let's chop this up. Unfilled gap. Daily time frame NASDAQ futures here. What's this close? 24,115. Lily's like, oh, yes, I actually care about Phantoms traders. I want them to be successful. I take what I do here extremely seriously. Serious. Life-changing skill set here. No joke, no BS. So we got that. We talked about this yesterday. My Phantoms group will know, right? Yesterday's low, except we had this daily low swipe right below there, right? That was yesterday. So beautiful. Worked out nice there. Just understanding liquidity and knowing where retail traders are going to jump in and chase price. It's the same thing every day. They do the same thing. Retail traders are so. I already know what retail traders are going to do. I already know what retail traders' mistakes are going to do before they make their 1,000th and 10th mistake that they told themselves they're not going to do again, right? I am there to take their mistake and turn it into money. All right. So as they're chasing price, about to make that mistake again, chasing price, I'm taking the other side of the trade. And that's what I'm trying to train these Phantom numbers to do on the other side, be professionals, right? So you've got that liquidity sweep right there, all-time high. Now they made a new high. All right, of course, Monday, Tuesday was kind of rangy this week. Of course, the beginning of the week, kind of a quiet before the storm of the quote-unquote Fed, right? And then we finally got we've got some movement here, right? So we swiped down lower, of course, and then of course that was just a good, decent little buying opportunity, right? And now we're making a new all-time high here. Definitely want to reference that 20-period moving average as well. And I think it's time now to drop down to the smaller time frames, which we're going to do right now. So I got a monthly here, weekly here, daily here, monthly, weekly, daily. Super important, even if you are still looking to short-term trade, scalp futures, for example, a couple of ticks here and there. Still need to know where you are on the higher time frames, monthly, weekly, daily. Yes, you do. All right. If you don't know that yet, you got to learn that. The big boys and girls, the big traders are on the higher time frames, and they drill down on small time frames to execute. I'm going to pop up. So I got a 60-minute here, 30-minute here, 5-minute here, 2-minute here, just to give you all the lay of the land for new folks. And pop it open the 1 hour time frame, okay, of the S&P futures. And just real quick before I delete anything or move anything from yesterday, I got this yesterday's low that I just added right there, right now, right, and just made a couple of notes here. Can't get that unfilled gap. I just already did that on the daily time frame. But here's the current price right now. So this is the gray space overnight here tonight. So as you can see, the futures nicely off the back of the Fed yesterday. We had a swipe down, right? We got a swipe up, swipe down, came back, ding, 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 closed, kind of closed back in the middle of range. Classic Fed, move up, move down, and then we got close in the middle there, right? And we rallied back up. But as you can see, right before I leave this or delete or move this or update this, we had yesterday Globex high, Globex low here, and we had this Globex low. We were kind of waiting for this all day. We had a decent positive gamma node right down here. This was equivalent to that S&P, or I should say SPX 6590 positive gamma node that we were kind of waiting for all day. Well, not all day, but kind of in the early afternoon, where we were short and we were taking some profit, and this is where we looked to get long, and that was also confluent with what's called a positive gamma node plus was called a G trap. So we dipped in there, and that provided a nice, beautiful rally before Fed. Then Fed came out, slammed lower, right, slammed lower, and then it slammed higher back, and then ding, 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 closed. Okay, so this one was a little bit more tougher to catch for this because the positive gamma node hit before Fed, which provided a nice trade. Then it flushed out lower. Okay, it went down to lower some weekly view up on SPX and SPY and QQQs. But I wasn't there with the team. I had terrible internet. I'm surprised this thing is still working here right now, pretty decent. But we had that swipe down low. So that's going to create yesterday's low. All right, now I am going to update this now, in which now today is going to be our new Globex high here. Globex high is the overnight high. Globex low is the overnight low here. All right, and the strategy is, if I look below the Globex low, do I have an institutional level of demand below that blue line there, Globex low? And if I look down and left, I mean, really, we're only referencing yesterday's price, so it's all yesterday's low. This is a big swipe right here, right? So I can drill down to a small time frame and see if I could. This is old now. If I can see if I can find a formation down in here. Let me copy and paste this real quick. Put this over here. There might be some liquidity sweeping right below here, this level. It's going to swipe. So I'm going to be referencing this level here. Of course, we have yesterday's low here. And the unfilled gap comes at around 66.10s down to the 66, call it 88, give or take. All right. So we got to definitely put a pin on that. Yesterday's low could be a nice little liquidity pickup. Okay. But if I go a little bit more closer to the upside here from current price, here's current price, right? Coming down. I want to investigate this area here. So let's drive down into a small time frame. All right. And, we got a little something right here. Here's the Globex low. All right. So decent little flip. Not the greatest flip formation wise here. All right. But I'm going to put an aggressive notation here. This is super aggressive because I don't really see a lot of formation here. All right, so this deserves an asterisk times 3, which I can fit. All right, and then of course we got yesterday's low here too, right? All right, so of course we have another one down here. I'm not sure we're gonna get all the way down there today. I doubt that. That's the 20 EMA daily, right? So there's the unfilled gap. So yeah, I don't have enough time to explain it right now, but if you go below this even number of say 6,600 on the S&P futures, you get that unfilled gap at 65.88. So all these levels down in here would be better for what's called a better G trap if we get there. Okay, so this is gonna be a better what's called G trap. What's a G trap? Get to class. All right, we'll line up some gamma nodes. I'm sure our good friend Joe Frank, if he's in here, with the Phantoms group, will help with that as well. All right, so that below yesterday's little 66.09. Below that, we got 6,600. We got this unfilled gap. So this is a nice little sweet spot area where it won't be as aggressive, okay, as quote unquote this level up here at 66.43. All right, but if we don't pick up any, crazy momentum today, or VIX doesn't spike, what have you, all right, there's some play here. All right, there's some play here, even within, yesterday's low. Okay, there's some play here. G trap short. Well, we need a level of supply above the Globex high to get short, and we don't have that. Of course, yesterday we had a all-time high, and we were talking to the Phantom numbers. There was like some supply form here, and I was mentioning you just got to be careful with that because we're in an overall uptrend. Okay, and then we could easily pop out into a new high. So of course we made a new all-time high here, right? So in order to for short, you kind of want to for short, you already kind of missed the short because we have an equal to or new higher high away from the mean, and so now we have a mean reversion. Okay, so my Phantoms members will know kind of what I'm talking about right there. All right, but yeah, Globex trap would have to be above the Globex high. Okay, we need an objective level of supply above. Now we don't have that. Okay, above the new all-time high, so we have to look for what's called positive gamma. I can't even go into that right now. 23 minutes before the open. Okay, we have this thing called options depth, not Phantoms members, but I use this as a service. Great service here, options depth to give us some insight of what the market makers are going to have to do to hedge their market making book. Okay, heavy stuff here. Definitely not something that I can describe in 5 minutes. We will get to this in a moment, however. NASDAQ. There goes my man Joe Frank, putting in the gamma nodes with the S&Ps. My man. Teamwork makes the dream work. NASDAQ, before I delete yesterday's Globex high, Globex low, boom, we had this level. We had this like basic little level right there. Didn't even put a note on it. And then we had a G-trap long, 24,300 right below there, right below daily lows. Pretty simple, right? Swipe there, did not fill the gap. There goes the swipe. Still have, I just made a note here that today for that unfilled gap. So we still can reference this area down in here, yesterday's low. Same thing that I mentioned in the S&P could be said for the NASDAQ futures here now, 1 hour time frame. Okay, so yeah, worked out nice. Swipe lower, right? Base. After Fed, doink up, doink down, doink back up, ding, 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 close, new high. Right? Today's Globex high is here. Globex low. Level of demand. You're probably on the continuous chart, Mark Wahlberg. Because you're probably on the continuous chart. So you're fine. You'll probably just see a big green candle right here, right? Somewhere, give or take. Just on the continuous chart. Same thing. So just go to the date of like Friday, what is it, the 12th. You'll probably just see a big candle. That would be the quote-unquote unfilled gap there. All right, basically the same thing for the most part. All right, below the Globex low, same thing. I can save a couple of clicks here. Take this green box here. Investigate this. Nice some liquidity right below here. So let's go back to small time frames. And yeah, there's really not much of a formation, so yeah, just watch out with NASDAQ. You might want to pad this thing here. It's a bit more stronger because of the NVIDIA news. This could be an aggressive G-trap here. All right, and then just be careful with this yesterday's low. That could easily be. This is a better location. For G-traps. Longs. All right, below yesterday's low, so you're probably talking about the 24,200 give or take level with that unfilled gap reference as well. All right, VWAP test right now here today, right now on the NASDAQ futures. So we do have some levels of demand here. This one already got tested here, but nice breakout. See the nice dink, nice breakout here. So if you wanted to try to get into NASDAQ, this already got tagged right there. See this impulse, basing impulse. You already got tagged one time there, but there might be a little something right there. If you go a little bit more deeper into that demand level, I'm just giving you a bit more, again, the conservative, more conservative levels there. All right, there's a little something there. All right, and this is no longer the new all-time high. So look at what happened right here. So anybody taking this retest of what was once an all-time high, test, pull back, break. Are we getting a retest on the other side, folks? Anybody taking this retest on the other side, VWAP test? Little bounce here. Everybody snag that real quick. Nice little setup there. Nice little bouncy bounce. Doink. VWAP, daily VWAP for today. White dash line plus retest yesterday's all-time high tag. All right. If you took this bounce, as you get up to mean revert, you start to TP, just scalp some futures here. All right. I digress. Gold. Too easy. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Gold monthly, weekly, daily. New all-time high. All-time highs on gold, pulling back, which is much needed on this bad boy here. Just the butte, just levels that we've been working on. Doing. Today's gold high here. Well, it's only up here now. I'm going to reference this level here because this is where most of the volume came in. Gold low. Gold futures here. All right, so we kind of, of course, had to tag a new all-time high real quick right there, right? Made a new high. This is why I stress so much with the phantoms. If you want to sell short, wait to a equal to or new high. If you wanted to get in front of that, right? Doink, right there. So that's a very. So we had a discussion yesterday where, remember a great member. We had a discussion, right? This is what we do, and we have drop base, drop. You had a supply level right there, and I had mentioned you got to be careful with that little drop base, drop supply level right there on the 60-minute time frame, which I'm on gold right now because the monthly weekly daily is up. So we just swiped right below that, and there we go. We made a new daily all-time high and new all-time high just in gold in general. Okay, so it's like that's a supply level, but the liquidity map. Okay, I brought this up, and we all said, "Hey, what's going on here?" We got answering questions. It's like we need a new higher high up here. Okay, because that is a small short-term level of supply. Okay, in the midst of a overall higher, bigger uptrend. So we just popped that level, got cooked. Okay, and made a new high, and this is where you want to sell short, right, on an equal to or new higher high for that mean revert. Okay, now we got for today, of course, we're in an overall uptrend in gold. We got a couple of daily lows here now, which we've been talking about. For today, I'm just going to try to keep this short and sweet, which I never can. 36.37 is coming on the board here because this is going to be a nice drop base, nice little rally right here below a couple of these daily lows, and I believe even one of these are a weekly low. I think this is last week's low. If I'm not mistaken, this is last week's low. So this 36.37, and especially if we get down to 36.13. All right, let me pop these out into a different color so it just sticks out. Like a bright green, maybe. Does that help? Maybe not. It didn't pop as much as I wanted it to pop. All right, but this 36.37. And this is a sweet one right there, 36.13. These are going to be some massive G-traps, liquidity sweep potential. Okay. All right, that's blue right here. We have an impulse, basing impulse on the daily time frame in blue. That's what that is right there. All right, impulse, basing, impulse. Okay, we're on another impulse, basing impulse right here. But if this thing wanted to swipe lower and pick up some liquidity, here was that 20-period moving average hovering at the second level down. Okay, on that note right there, right? Does that make sense? So this is an impulse, basing impulse inside, right, of demand on the daily 20-period moving average confluence here, and we get a couple of daily lows and weekly low. So if we swipe lower below there, that's a trap people who are trying to short gold in the context of an uptrend. Okay, at fresh, high quality level of demand. Gotcha, right? Does that make sense? If not, if it doesn't make sense, go here, go there, click on register. Where's my coffee? All right, moving on, VIX. Island Gap on the vid. Oh, yeah. Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. Indeed. Intel has a new best friend called NVIDIA. That's a good friend. You are who you hang out with, right? Pretty interesting there. VIX. VIX up, market down. VIX down, market up. Inverse correlation. 30-day implied vol on the SPX. A lot more to this, but we'll just keep it simple right now. VIX up, market down. VIX down, market up. As you can see, pre-Fed, VIX is kind of up just a little bit more slightly there than yesterday of what we slammed down yesterday. And then you get the VIX down, slightly today, down about 4%, give or take, right? It's a green bar, but it's down overall. Want to map this out not only in the high time frames, but the lower time frames as well, small time frames. So map out the overnight low here. These look kind of weird here. Looks like just some prints there. So I'm just going to use where the candles are for the most case. That could just be a little algo blip there. To get the overnight high, overnight low inside VIX. If VIX stays low or stays down and grinds lower, that could be more bullish for the market. VIX down, market up. The VIX does take out an overnight high and start to begin to trend potentially higher, okay, with some spikes and remaining their spikes up. That could just be a bit more bearish for the market, just for the day, for the hour, for the 2 hours, give or take. Okay, markets can go down for a couple of hours, even though we're in a bull market. All right, markets can go down all day today. Who knows, right? So that's what we're talking about here. And then we got, I just kind of pinned last time I saw that there. That's the VIX. Super important. SPYs. I'm trying to get through as many gaps as I possibly can. And again, I know it's annoying. I know y'all Phantoms members, it's been 2 long weeks, y'all. I get it. Believe me, I'm still displaced, so my charts are horrendous. So I'm not as organized. I'm working off one laptop with one screen as opposed to my home office with a amazing computers, and like 6 screens. Okay, so bear with me. Here's SPY. Got just a weekly time frame on the left. I got a daily time frame on the right. All right, here's a daily, right? Open, right? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Close there, Fed, right? We have an outside gap up today as we close red, and now we're gapping above yesterday's high. So there is an outside gap on the SPY here today. Now, the percentage, give or take, just to equate this to the SPX, up about, 0.42% right now. That could change a little bit in the next 10, 11 minutes. But I'm going to take that to the SPX world here. Close right on 6,600. Anybody catch a butterfly yesterday on 6,600? Oh no, my computer's acting up already. No, 0.42, give or take, SPX. Oh my God, don't start now. See what I'm dealing with, folks? About 66.25, 66.30, give or take, implied open. What am I going to do with that information? Option steps. How did you get such a pretty skin for TradingView chart? It's so clear. It's crazy you say that. I don't know. It's just my regular TradingView, but it's crazy you say that because this screen sucks. This is not even my home office. This screen sucks. So the fact that you even made that comment is I'm blushing. So if this is clear, this is not even clear. This is not even a good resolution for my real computer that I stream off of. But I know I didn't do anything. This is actually a crappy monitor. Just one that I'm like traveling with that I don't care about because I'm displaced at the moment, just staying at a family member's house. But it's just I didn't do anything special. But yeah, so what I say, the implied open 66.25-ish, give or take. So I'm gonna just kind of zoom in here. This is what's called options depth. I'm not affiliated with them or anything like that, but it's a great tool for what's called the market maker gamma exposure. If you read that down here. All right, calls are blue, green, puts are red. Everything to the left are sold options. Everything to the right are bought options. You got to understand options. You got to understand Greeks, etc. All right, if you don't know, we have classes that can teach you and get you to a higher level. That's what we do. 66.25, bringing this to 66.25. I'm just going to zoom in to get the bulk of the options depth here for today. 2 screens, it's still ripping. Indeed. 25. So here today's interesting. So we're actually going to be opening up in a little bit of what's called a negative GEX regime. Interesting. I'd pin this 65.90. This is where we have a positive gamma node. 66.90. That's where we have a positive gamma node as well. Now 66.90 is kind of way up there. But we're in negative GEX regime a little bit, folks, here. So interesting. So we could get a little volatile off the open there. 65.90 is one of the key takeaways that I would have y'all kind of pin. it's there again. This is where we were talking about yesterday, right? 65.90, indeed. So wow, kind of right. So this is exactly what we were looking at yesterday. That provided the low pre-Fed that ripped up, right? So that's still there again today, folks. I think it's about time to delete this now. The liquidity secrets here. Got short TP, got long bounce, technical bounce. So I'm going to keep this 65.90 there and just make a note on its positive gamma node. Come on, man. Click, click, click. Decent positive gamma node. So as price comes down into this, if it were to come down into this, market makers would have to buy into this. All right. Where's the other one? 66.90. Just give you all the way. Now this is going to change. So we have to take the pre-prep because things change once that bell rings, right? This positive gamma node is way up here. I'll just put that as a reference right there, just for right now. A little bit of negative GEX when we open up. I'm going to get to the gaps here because it's a little bit more advanced. I know I'm probably losing 95% of people what I'm doing right now. And I don't mean that to insult anybody's intelligence. This is a heavy topic right here. So you got to learn it. Already covered kind of spies there. Qs. Taking the ball and running with it to the upside here. All right, hammer bar yesterday, red bar close, gap up. NVIDIA, playing a major part of that. Watch out for here's now the all-time high, which was a short hot 2 days ago, right? So watch out for a retest in the event that we come down lower. All right, that's noteworthy. Apple. Slight gap up. I don't know. If we're trying to absorb this supply. If we break the supply, next level is going to be March high, monthly high. Tag potentially up there. Noteworthy. Amazon. And annoying. This weekly catfish us thinking that we're going to gap psych pro gap up. It's just been basing. Just be careful with Amazon. Gap's not. It's getting choppy. Amazon's getting choppy, right? Jeff Bezos, man. He needs to shave his head. It's getting too prickly, man. Stock's getting too prickly. Doesn't know what it wants to do here. Right? Shave those prickles, man. We need some clean tape, but still making high, low. Just are we gonna get a pop? Not until Jeff Bezos shaves his prickles on his forehead, on his head. AVGO. I had a down day yesterday, right? Needs one. Still a tough short, but I think Mason actually caught this yesterday. It was a tough trade, and he hit it though. Good job. As far as the gap, again, these charts are just all messed up at the moment. As far as the gap, slight gap up. We did hit monthly view up yesterday down here on AVGO, so we're monthly rebalancing. You got a weekly high, weekly low here. We're still inside that. Came down, we rebalanced. So AVGO, semiconductor, NVIDIA, semi-space. So semis might be hot today, so that might just all high tides rise all ships. So type deal. So the AVGO could potentially catch a bit off the open here today. We'll of course have to see that, not just think about that. All right, here's Google. Still inside bar for the most part from even this week on Monday. Now Google closed here, gap up here, a little bit of a red bar close, and a little bit of a pain gap. Still inside gap, but definitely want to look at that. Tesla, beautiful, just a beaut. This thing's looking like it just wants to attack this monthly. Where's this monthly high here? This price point here, basically the 438. Tesla's one of my favorite stocks. Not political, not because of Elon. I don't care. This is business. Stock rips. I just care about the business and the money. That's it. Don't care about politics. All right? People get shot out here. What is going on? Why? Stop. Smile. High 439.74. Here's the next liquidity sweep here. All right. So ride this long. If you can get that, right? It's looking like it wants to get up into that monthly for that swipe. $39.74. Four is my favorite number. Running back, football. Because I'm short. All right, so my Phantoms members will know. Nice little positive COG close. Tesla on the board today. If we get some follow through, hit it to the monthly. Long TP long bullish, TP heavy here, TP heavier here, and this could be a monthly high sweep for a potential small mean revert. Okay, but pad that. All right, my Phantoms members will know how to work that liquidity there. Microsoft, Site Gap up, Meta, red bar close, Gap up higher, Mags on fire, NVIDIA of course, red bar close here. Of yesterday's high. Oh, my charts are horrendous. So just because, we're gapping up doesn't mean that we're going to continue up, but this has a nice, powerful gap here. Of course, it's in the news right now, hot. These markets are just looking for anything to give a reason to continue to rally, right? So NVIDIA is giving us a potential treat for bulls. For bears, might not be so much, but we'll see if we get some continuation on this, right? We got an unfilled gap right there. We'll see. It was a low, high, choppy, but we get some news here on this, so we'll see. We are in the middle of this, uptrend here on the weeklies and monthlies, but dailies a little bit of a downtrend here, just a little bit. But you got to be careful with that. Ding, ding, ding. Market open. Y'all asking about. Let me see. Right out the gate. Ding, ding, ding. Crowd's gonzo. Working on crowd. Anybody pick up some crowd yesterday? That's a TP. Crowd's looking good there. Breakaway gap. What are we doing? Everybody's still holding hood long from yesterday. Let's see, IBIT. There goes NVIDIA. I see that, blessing. And you are indeed correct, ma'am. Let's get some materials real quick. Advanced declines positive 600 above the zero line. Not extreme. VIX on VIX lower. Vol D. More up volume versus down volume in New York Stock Exchange. Not extreme. Too early for cumulative take. We'll pin that. All right, first 2 minute bar Meta. Not ideal. Be patient. Lily. Somebody's mentioning Lily. It's annoying with that 200 period moving average right overhead on the dailies. Unfortunately, it's a big one there. Man, hood's on the board. Long call hood. I got to do it. Indeed, Mason. Yes, sir. Like overall, yeah, long termer, like bigger picture. All right, let's see. So if you're seeing those ones from yesterday, they go for about 280. The 120 strike. If you wanted to pick up the 121 potentially today, it's there. All right, I'll lock in some hood here. Robin Hood, that is. Copy and paste this code over here. So long call hood. I'll put this here. This is the 121 strike for Friday's expiration tomorrow, 208. Fell on this. I'll make the notes later. Up on Netflix. Or Netflix. The video looking decent. PLTR. Ooh, PL, good one. Who's that? Daniel King? My man. The hammer off 20 PM moving average. Gonzo. Nice rip there. You can work on PLTR. MU. MU too. Good job. This is good. I own this stock overall, which is good, like long term. Got some shares on this. Nice. So this is good here. But you know, we're at all-time highs now. 100 bars. So you can try to work on that. Don't get too far away from VWAP. You can pull back on that a little bit. Google. All right. Tesla giving us a little something there. Positive COG. Got some room for that if this is going to continue. We are outside of 2 standard deviations on the daily and weekly, so it's a little stretch, but I don't know if we're going to get some pop today on that. Robinhood's going a bit here. I got to get long Google. Yeah, TP some hood. All right, so Goog's here. 255 strike call. Boom, 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 bang. TP some hood. All right. As a TP, just hit it. That's a great one would say. Hit it. And there he is in the chat. My man. We have this guy named TP Timmy in the trade room. He's awesome. He's the coolest dude ever. Put some target orders up here if we get a spike on it, right? Doink. 276 round premium. All right. Then we got Googs. We can already start to TP some Googs here as well. Hit it. Just hit some there. There you go, Google pop. I put some target orders there. Oh, this computer's so slow right now, man. Oh, there goes head. The hype with NVIDIA, sometimes what will happen is it'll come up in that level. There might be a better buy on NVIDIA a bit later. If it pulls back. So make sure you're taking profit on some Google here, right? And Hood, what's popping there, right? So if you held those contracts from yesterday, those are going very well, and we got re-entry here today, right? Nice. All right, make sure you're TP in there. Let's see, maybe I'm gonna add to Google if we get down to 140 here. I'm going to be adding the Google down there. All right. Carvana clearing gap actually. Carvana doing some stuff here. I just want to see what this looks like. Oh, the spread is so annoying. That's the only thing trading Carvana. I like to swing trade Carvana. Man, look at that spread. Oh, it's annoying. I mean, the 390 spread's not bad, though, I will say. Maybe pick up some Carvana 390s. Strike, Carvana.com. I got a question for y'all. Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Under the tree? Who lives in a watching freaking SpongeBob at a family member's house? I'm so annoyed with SpongeBob. I just want to punch that sponge in the face. Toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity. Patrick. Who lives in a pineapple under the tree? Say that to a kid, they go wild. It's a sea. It's a tree. They go wild. The kids go wild, man. I like your passion, boy, girl, kid. Keep that up. Google did fill more here. Whatever, 140-ish. Carvana. Just hit target. So something there. Meta. Lessons on it. Yes, ma'am. Indeed, ma'am. What a queen. What a queen. What a gal. Nobody puts blessing in the corner. Dirty dancing. Come dance with me. Patrick Swayze. Meta. Meta doing some stuff here. I wanted that 5-minute COG to get better, or I would like it to be a little bit better, but we got something here. We pick up maybe the 787 here for, you pick up the 787, maybe the 790, 30, 40 delta, give or take. You know, even if you pick up the 790, that not too bad here, right? On call here, boom, boom. S&P's a little heavy, I will say. VIX up a little bit, so we got to be careful with these longs. So make sure you're TPing decently. You can already TP some here, I guess, if get that pop there, long call. She has some targets. So you get a pump there. Google not going good here on that pullback. Going back a little bit there. Let's see. What are the charts? I think Meta just hit. Meta's hitting some targets. Make sure you get some targets up there. Carvana pop. Good job, Go Frank. Google hot breaking here. I'll be patient with Meta. Good one, blessing. Why are you glazing her, bro? Man, calm your little virgin ass now, man. Google. Steve Hewitt knew it. Did you do it? Crowd. I've seen better. But you are right, sir. You are correct. Yes, sir. Steve Hewitt knew it. Hopefully he did it. Did you do it, Hewitt? Do it, Hewitt. Google VWAP test. Still chilling. Meta. Hit TP. Blessing. Yeah, glaze her. Glaze her. Glaze her. Glaze her. Shout out blessing. Make sure you TP. Y'all saw that TP, right? Dink, dink. Punk, punk. Google, come on, bro. Hood's asking for re-entry. If that gets a positive COG, might be a re-entry there. Oh, Google could be annoying sometimes. I might just hold these for tomorrow because this, and I'm not just saying that. Google is like a late bloomer. It'll just like hang out, and then on a random 12:30 p.m. Eastern when everybody's at lunch, Google just like pops. It's like the only. It's like weird. It's a thing. So, and Tesla didn't no follow through there, right? So, all right. Come on, am I good? Google's the one that's pulling back on us there. Steve Hewitt, my man. Snap. You want my Snap? I don't have Snapchat. Bad things happen on Snapchat. Oh, you mean the stock? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, I'll check that out. Bro, it's $8 stock. Trash. The fuck am I gonna do a Snap? Bro, SPX can move 8 points in like on a 10 delta in like 10 minutes and just crush whole Snap's life. I'm good. Fuck am I gonna do a Snap? Chat. $8 shitty ass stock. Fuck a Snap. Carvana rip. Money Mike adding to we got the trigger on that now, right? I believe we get the COG. Damn, Carvana, I told y'all, man, that thing's gonna pop, man. That thing likes to pop. TP some CVNA. Oh man, I'm not trading my other account. No, that's a nice ripper right there. You got it, Money Mike. That's why we call you Money Mike, because you look for those squeezes, brother. You got squeezed out of Phantoms. Me too, bro. No, we're good. We're in the same cell, bro. We're cell bros. Meta TP. Blessing glazing us. She knows equal to a new high. She's a trained queen. Don't mess with her. We will send Patrick Sweezy after you. R.I.P. legend. Now I had the time of my life, and I owe it all to Blessing. Negative above. Man, spies and SPX just bagging to you to get long. Is it a trap? The SPX equal weighted up. Mags. There you go, Joe. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, let's see. Mags are a little heavy, but we catch bids. So let's see. We got. Now, if you add it to Hood, you can TP some if you like. Man, it sucks. I'm not trading my other account. I trade like so much more size. So annoying. Carvana hitting 8 on premium. Slam that. TP some. Man, I'm leaving a lot of money in the tip. These guys that are working on my chimney owe me like a lot of money. I'm taking them to court. So come on, Google trash. That's a weird. Microsoft. I'm gonna just snag some. We could potentially snag some long queues. I'm not sure if we're gonna pop here. It's trying. Yo, we are in negative Gactiville. $66, 65 is the next positive gamma around here. I'm gonna pick up some. Let me pick up some Qs. Google's being annoying. We can be patient with that. I'm fixing to pick up some Qs here, but give me a moment. Let me see. The VIX. It seems a little heavy. VIX on VIX is lower. We're inside the opening day's range, so it's a little bit of a risk here. Of course, everything's risk, right? But let's see. Leg in some Qs real quick. Let's keep it simple. Maybe leg in. If you want to get it a little cheap here, $5.96, just in case we don't pop out. But if you want to get the $5.95, basically you got the monies. You know, not bad here. All right, a little choppy right now, I will say, just on indexes, right? So, you know, maybe not size up as much, you know, maybe go smaller size just to kind of put a thumb on the pulse. Or you could just potentially wait. These are $1 now if you want to get them for a little cheap there for just see. But you have to be okay with this thing just, you know, of course, coming down there, right? Let me check futures. What is Q's? QQQ is the ETF for the NASDAQ. Tony Davis. QQQ. They call it the Q's. QQQ. 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 NASDAQ ETF. Right? Then we got NQ, which I'm checking right now, which is the NASDAQ futures. Oh my God, I put a green box at a level of demand, and it hit there and popped up. Wow, rocket science, rocket surgery here we do, huh? That's what pop. So that's what's happening right now. We're just basing on VWAP on the regular trading session and futures all overnight trading session here. So interesting. All right, I didn't pull the trigger on them yet. You can just be patient. We're in the middle of things here. Mark Wahlberg. I'm not in the chat anymore, brother, but I heard you've been doing good work on those butterflies to end the day, brother. Good job, man. Working it out for the team, man. Teamwork makes the dream work. Appreciate you, brother. Taking care of the team. While Money Mike and I are in the slammer. Google fixing for a pop. Blessing told us the exact time to TP before pullback because she's misglazed. Y'all say glazed as a slang word. Anytime I hear glazed, I just think of glazed donuts. But can't be eating that gross shit. Back in the gym. When do I get released? Nah, that key's gone. Jace. Hood basing. Google. Uh-oh. All right, I think my hour's up. What do we do? Nothing. Yo, Carvana. Damn. Being SPX today. Do you even lift, bro? I'm back in the gym, Great One. I'm trying to be like you, bro. Back in the gym. Steak, eggs, avocado. Just crushing steak and eggs. Avocados. Sweet potatoes. And glazed donuts. Those cues are setting up. Q. Got the trigger. Got the trigger. Where's it going to go? Nobody knows. QBTS, what is that? Sounds sketchy. Back heavy yourself? Indeed, sir. Great One's a big dude. Don't play with that boy. 160. Q's, hit the trigger. So we should get some TPs, etc. up if we rally. Stop loss on this. You can risk maybe like $1.60, maybe 60 cents, maybe $1, give or take. All right, if we get no falter on that. TP hood, new high. TP hood. Good job, Money Mike. A man's in Phantom prison, still ripping. Let's go. Come on, Good, wake up. Can hit some spies too. the Joe Frank glazed donut plus Diet Coke Eagles negative calories. Cheat code. Do you even diet, bro? Yeah, I'm in negative calories. How's that possible? Glazed donuts and Diet Cokes. Snapping. That's cool. Oh my god, I feel so jealous I didn't take that trade. What am I gonna do with myself? Oh no, I didn't grab Snap for fucking 25 cents. Oh no! Well, the stock went from 836 to 856. Oh my God! What am I gonna do? My career in Wall Street's over. I'm out of here, Duncan. You know it. I'm out of here, folks. I'll see some of y'all. Too easy, too fun. Love y'all. My real phantoms in here. Love y'all. Y'all keeping me in high spirits while my chimney's getting fixed. So Santa Claus could come to town, even though I ain't getting shit for Christmas. But yeah, got a call with the guy yesterday, as mentioned in the live trade room, and looks like we should be good to go on Friday. And I was like, man, if you can work over the weekend, if you need me, can you do that, man? Because I need to be back in my home. So I'm working that shit out in the backdrop. If you are new or interested, this is where I say, go to TradePhantoms.com. Everybody in here, okay, including Patrick Swayze, has gone through this here, right? You have to click register. TradePhantoms.com. Love you too, Joe Frank. And today, Thursday the 18th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 hours away. The countdown begins. We got first name, email. Click your phone number in there real quick, right? Click on register. Here is an outlay of what you will learn in about 90 minutes class, give or take. Hosted by the Mr. Black or the Mr. Green. No, I'm Mr. Blue. I'm an idiot, so I can't do these. I'm not smart enough here. All right. So they'll walk you through. We're all professional traders. Okay, myself, Mr. Black, Mr. Green. They'll walk you through this, right? If you're just starting out trading for income, all the way to we got people that are in high school still, right, learning how to trade for short-term income and potentially a career, all the way to retirees, etc. Right, and everything in the middle, right? Not just about stocks, futures, forex, options, even crypto, right? How to, small accounts, big accounts, doesn't matter. No discrimination here, right? Come one, come all. If it's for you, you see a fit, great. If it's not for you and you do not see a fit, great as well. We'll shake your hand, salute, see you later, good luck, and we'll get back to the grind and training the folks that are committed to doing this and looking at this seriously. That's what we do here, train. All right, train, professional traders. All right, I'm out for now, folks. TPQs, looks like we got the pop. TP those bad boys, and we'll end on a high note here. Manage those trades. And I'll see some of y'all Phantoms members later. God bless. Take care. Blue out.